Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Divorce Coach Diaries. It is Friday again, podcast day, and something I've been thinking about a lot lately, and something that's been coming up for my clients as well, is the value of looking outside of yourself. And sometimes, especially when we are going through something really challenging, we live in our own head. We loop on thoughts. We go over everything in the past, things that should have been different, things that we wish were different, things we wish we would have done differently, things that shouldn't have happened, all of those things about the past. And we worry about the future. All of this is not helpful to us. It's not helpful in solving problems. It's not helpful moving forward. It's not helpful creating what we want. So, we're going to talk about how to get outside of yourself and how to get out of your head so that you can move through whatever it is that you are dealing with right now. So, first of all, why do we tend to stay focused inward or in our own brain and in our small little immediate bubble? Why do we even do that? It feels necessary to our brains. It feels like a matter of survival. Our brains are always scanning for danger, and our brain's job is to keep us safe. It wants to focus on us. It wants to focus on what's wrong. And this keeps us stuck. And this inward focus intensifies during hard seasons or transitions or really challenging times in our lives, like divorce or some other really challenging transition. The inward focus intensifies. We ruminate more. We are more self-critical. We're always questioning, am I doing this right? What am I doing wrong? What did I do wrong? What should I do to prevent this in the future? And what happens when we stay there too long is we start to isolate. We start to lose perspective and we exhaust ourselves. So if you find yourself in this spot, it's okay. It's normal. It's a natural part of human behavior. It's what our brain is doing in its default mode to keep us safe. But if you want to do something different, why would we even do that? Why do we want to look outside of ourselves? Why is that even helpful? It sort of serves as a reset button. Looking outside of yourself can remind you of what is bigger than your current struggle. It can help you remember that you are not alone and look for evidence that that is true. And it helps us break out of the cycle of spinning in our own head. What are some small things that you can do to break your internal focus and help switch it to a little bit more external? We can notice what is around us in the world. Take a minute and just do a check in with yourself. That's the five senses grounding exercise, where we focus really intensely for a few minutes on exactly in this moment, what do I see? What do I hear, taste, feel, and smell? And that helps us bring it back to the moment, and it helps us focus on what's around us instead of a laser focus inside our own brain. We can do something for somebody else. Maybe this simply means going to the grocery store and while we are there, noticing who can we serve right now? There might be somebody who is struggling to reach something on a shelf. There might be a mom who is really having a hard time with her kiddo. There might be somebody whose shirt you can compliment. Now, I know these all seem so silly, but they will do their job of helping you get out of your own head and notice the world around you, which shifts your perspective instantly. So, what are other ways that we can shift our focus? We can focus on physical world around us and sensations. Get out of your house, take a walk, play with your dog in the backyard. That will help you get in touch with your body and the physical world around you. How do you shift relationally in our relationships? Call a friend, ask questions about their life, and practice gratitude for the other people in your life who, when we are in a really challenging time, it's like we take those people for granted. And it's not intentional, but for your sake, be grateful on purpose and with intention for the people in your life. Creatively, we can shift our focus outward. Listen to some music that you love. Do you have a hobby that engages your senses? And what might that look like for you? And again, generosity goes a huge way in shifting our focus. It does not have to be a huge thing. Noticing somebody and calling attention to something that you appreciate about them, or even just notice positively about them, goes such a long way for somebody else, and it will serve you too. It will help your brain reinforce looking for these other things outside of you. So, why does this matter in a really hard time? Shifting our focus outward can do so much for our healing. It keeps us from drowning in our own narrative. There are times in our lives where it is so easy to put ourselves in the victim role and have that as our default mindset. And that will never get us where we want to go. It will never move us forward. And again, every time I bring this up, I want to make sure that I am not misunderstood. There are people and situations in our world where there are true victims. People are victimized. This is not what I am talking about today. I am talking about the mentality that we put on ourselves sometimes in a really challenging situation. We start to feel sorry for us. We start to feel like we need somebody else to save us. We feel powerless. And we reinforce that when we are stuck in our own narrative. So, what else does looking outward do for us? It helps us build resilience. It helps remind us that life is so much more than what is happening right now. Life is more than this painful chapter that you are in. And we lose perspective of that when we don't intentionally look out and challenge our brain's default mode. It also connects us to humanity. There is so much good in the world. And I know, depending on what we look for, we will find. There are so many people out there in the world who are telling us the world is a terrible place, everybody is filled with hate, all of this. And while that might be true in some instances, and it's so easy to see with some things, I believe that most people are good, that humanity is made for goodness and for kindness and for love. And you know what? Because I believe that, I look for evidence that that is true, and I see it. I see it every day. I also see the pain, but I don't ignore the good. So this weekend, I want to challenge you to practice this. If there's something that resonated for you, take that as a small sign that this might be a good thing for you. And I am not saying don't take care of yourself. I'm not saying ignore your own needs, rest when you need to. I'm not saying any of that. This is just a really simple and helpful way to help us get out of our own heads, which, if your head is anything like mine, it's not a super helpful place to be sometimes. And it's okay, because that is our brain doing its job trying to keep us safe. But if you're ready for more, try looking outside of yourself and see what happens. And I'd love to hear from you. Tell me if you try this and it was helpful for you in any way. And if you want to talk more about this, about how to get out of the cycle that is in your own head and that's keeping you stuck, book a free call. On Tuesdays, I help people for free, and I would love for you to get one of those spots. So go to my website, megthedivorcecoach.com/free coaching, and sign up, and I would love to help you. Have a great weekend.